Welcome back, everybody. Gonna be starting a repair really soon, and I thought that this video might be of interest to some people. Economy's so-so, and people are down on the luck these days, and most people don't realize that, when something breaks, especially one of the newer computers, if it's enough for you, then there's no real reason to buy another computer. Well, this computer broke. This is a HP Pavilion 500 PC. It is equipped with an AMD A6 6500 APU, 8 gigs of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM, a 2 terabyte hard drive, and basically had built-in Wi-Fi. But the problem with this computer is that the power supply went and actually killed the motherboard. So let me see, I have it right here, and let's get a light on this guy. So these computers were equipped with really low-end power supplies. This is, I think it's like 218 watt max, and I'm not even sure if it has over voltage protection. Obviously it really doesn't. The motherboard is definitely gone. Some of the voltage regulators have just been shot, and it's just not, it's just not working. It's just not holding power correctly. Unfortunately, I won't be able to save the Wi-Fi unit for this customer. He can add it later on if he really wants to, but all he really does is play League of Legends and some online games, and then just basic computer. And so this APU was enough for him. We brought it in and I tested everything out. The memory stick, it has a single stick of DDR3 it's 8 gigs 1600 megahertz, I believe, and then 2 terabyte hard drive. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to rebuild the computer. We have an F2A68 HMH motherboard from Gigabyte. Awesome awesome lettering. But basically it's your, I got some Arctic Silver here. APUs generate quite a bit of heat, and it's just your basic motherboard of sorts. And okay, I'm going to place this down because I'm the only cameraman, but so apologize for that, the shakiness here. You'll probably see my big ass gorilla hands, but the motherboard is a very small basic motherboard. We're trying to get this customer up and going with the cheapest parts possible, without really sacrificing too much quality. And anything is better than the onboard stuff that the computer came with. So here's a quick look at the Gigabyte motherboard. It's FM2 Plus, and that CPU in this particular in the HP is actually an FM2 APU. So this will support both. 2 DIMMs of 2 slots for memory DIMMs, and it's okay. And basically it's not all solid caps, which I guess it's a budget board. USB 3.0, and we got 4 USB 2.0 with a PS2 combo. We got HDMI, and then we got VGA out here. So you're pretty basic stuff, but like I said, it'll work. And we're gonna put in a new power supply. It's the Smart 500 watt from Thermaltake, and it's your basic power supply, but very well priced and pretty good quality. And so, believe it or not, we're going to probably put a Windows 7 in here because the computer came with Windows 8, and once that motherboard goes, that's it. So I have some Windows 7 software laying around here, and we'll get the computer up and going with Windows 7 64-bit home premium. And so once I get it all set and put together, we'll continue the video. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why is it in this case? Well, believe it or not, the old case, which is right here, this old HP case, the wiring is shot. The power button, or the wires, were actually shorted out by the short circuit, and the computer just kept resetting. And so instead of putting an ugly, manually wiring an ugly start button on there, or a power on button, asked the customer what he wanted, because there was another issue, is that this Gigabyte GA F2A68HM-8 motherboard doesn't have a USB 3 header on the motherboard. And so we couldn't connect it to the HP case anyway, because the HP case had a USB 3.0. Now what I decided was to get ask the customer if he wanted a Thermaltake Versa case. Now the reason why I use the Versa H22, and this is the Versa H22, a brand new case, is that it has this. If you can see, this is a USB 3.0 header connector for the motherboard, but it actually has another split off right here where you see that's wired to connect to USB 2. So this case is set to connect to old motherboards too, which is really, really nice. You know, it's just a great feature to have. So now he has full functionality. The USB 3.0 actually works as a 2.0, and so it works out right now. Putting Windows 7 on there and updating it and just putting in League of Legends because that's what he really plays. So once I get this done, we'll do the last bit of the video. Okay, finally, this computer is rebuilt. Ended up starting off as this HP Pavilion, as you can see the case, the front of the case there. But like I said, it ended up as shorting out, and you know, some repairs go by smooth, some repairs are like this. It's a nightmare repair, and the whole idea was just to try to make this really cheap for the customer. But like I said, everything works out now. Windows 7 Home Premium has been installed just to save the customer money, because you can't put a Windows 8. It came with Windows 8 as a HP, but you know, since the motherboard's been changed, it just will not recognize, you know, it won't auto activate again. And so I'm going to just basically everything works fine. It's running a AMD A6, and I'm gonna try to, excuse me, it's just me again. I can't get the right angle on this because this monitor's at the edge of the let's try to get that set up right there. Sorry for the shakiness. But yeah, an AMD A6 6500 APU with Radeon graphics running at stock 3.5. I believe it does turbo near to 4 gigahertz, near that. The RAM is one single stick, running 1600 megahertz, and as you can see there, only 7.2 is usable. But also, besides that, it runs pretty good. As you expect, excuse me. It's a 2 gig hard drive, and I did not partition out this hard drive, quite frankly, because it's just, and this is just Word opening up on it just to give you guys an idea. And so we have a CPU Z on there too. Just to, I was doing this just to keep an eye on things when it was actually being installed, just to make sure. But yeah, 4 gigahertz, it turbos up to near. We saw it there for 4.1 gigahertz and such. And so let's see, and we put League of Legends, which is the only thing that he really plays on here. So I don't know how League of Legends will play. I have not overclocked the CPU. I can now with this Gigabyte GAF2A 6.8 motherboard, but I just, you know, for simplicity's sakes and just for longevity's sake, I'm not going to. And I'm not going to play a game of League because, quite frankly, I don't know how to play League. We build computers for League, but we just don't play it. But finally, it's all done. Sometimes I guess this video turned out to be one of those videos where, like I said, sometimes repairs work out really smooth, sometimes they don't. But just to let you guys see that it can be rebuilt, and he only had to spend $50 more. So better than buying a new computer, you know. And he just he didn't want to go through the whole hassle. But any question or comments, guys, please post them at the bottom of the video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.